Hey everybody, welcome to TnSportsChat presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Patrick Matsinko along with Emmett McCall. Emmett back this week coming off of a busy weekend around the area where we had Tamaqua capture its first ever district championship in football.
Yes, Tamaqua was the bright spot of the weekend. We had 4 teams playing. They were the only winner and put on a really good performance against North Schuylkill, avenged an earlier loss to them earlier this season. Shut them out. Great defense.
Yeah, and that defense was obviously huge in that game. Just to kind of be able to shut down a North Schuylkill team that obviously without quarterback Jaden Libby out injured, that certainly changes the dynamic, but still for Tamaqua to be able to pitch a shutout against a North Schuylkill team that is big, physical up front, and has still shown an ability to move the ball over the last couple of weeks, even with different pieces in the lineup.
Yeah, they scored 40-some points against Pine Grove the week before. But real impressive by Tamaqua. They win their semifinal game against Notre Dame by excelling offensively, putting 49 points up there. And then they come right back against North Schuylkill the week after, and they win it with their defense. And that's kind of what you need at this time of the year. They also had a great special teams performance. Their punting game worked really well against North Schuylkill. So, that's what you need to win, because you're playing good teams everywhere you go, great teams actually, and you have to have some offense, defense, special teams, everybody contributing.
Yeah, and like you mentioned about that semifinal win over Notre Dame Green Pond, that also avenged an earlier loss from a year ago, which Notre Dame ended Tamaqua's season. So the Raiders were able to kind of bounce back, notch that win and then go on against North Schuylkill. And Tamaqua also had a 94-yard drive in that game against North Schuylkill, which was really huge in terms of keeping things going and kind of keeping them on track in that game where it still could have gone either way at that point.
Brad Hurley did sidebar on the game for us, and that's what he wrote about. He wrote about the drive, 6-0 at the time, I believe it was, and Tamaqua took it down, got a 2-score lead, and at halftime, and kind of then just was in control the rest of the way.
Yeah, but like you said, they've shown an ability to win games in a variety of ways these last couple of weeks with offense, defense. They'll face another test this weekend, Friday night against Pope John Paul. That will be down at Owen J. Roberts High School, down toward Philly. So, but another test for the Raiders, who have shown, especially these last couple of weeks, that they really seem to have kind of found their stride and are on form.
You want to be playing your best ball at this time of the year. Brad Hurley has a preview story of the game in Thursday's Times News. Check it out. Just give you a little hint though, John Paul II, explosive offensive team. Quarterback has thrown 37 or 35 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions this year. He has over 2,500 yards passing. So a Raider defense that we featured today, we featured their linebackers and their secondary in our preview picture that we have with the story in Thursday's paper. They're going to be severely tested on Friday, and that could be the key to the game.
Absolutely. And at this point, obviously, you're just kind of looking at that sort of maybe survive and advance mentality. But Tamaqua, again, has shown an ability to kind of be able to do that and to adapt, to their opponents the last couple of weeks. So it'll be another big test, though, for the Raiders this week. Like you said, though, Tamaqua, our only team coming away from last weekend with a win. Northwestern got clipped by Allentown Central Catholic late, a field goal. I don't know if it was maybe so much controversy there, but it ended sort of in a bit of chaotic fashion, I guess.
Right. Pass interference call against the Tigers in the final minute and a half of the game. A lot of people thought it wasn't interference. That kept the Central Catholic drive alive, and they eventually hit the field goal to win it. Coach Snyder also was unhappy. Northwestern got the ball after Central scored. They had basically a chance to run one play from deep in their own territory, hit a long pass play. Receiver brought down at Central 19-yard line. Clock had expired. Our Northwestern coaches thought there probably could have been a second added on and had another play to run and with a chance to win it. So just a tough way to lose, and Northwestern had 22-6 lead in that game at one point. So a tough way for the season to end, but a great season for the Tigers nonetheless.
Absolutely, yeah, and we kind of talk about just sort of what they accomplished throughout the regular season, what they've done in the Colonial League, earning I guess it's a share of the Colonial League title. They don't. They kind of the way that usually shakes out depending on head-to-head records and things like that. Yeah, so but certainly a phenomenal season. Devin Ballinger, again, I think he's established or reestablished most every record as a quarterback at Northwestern. So another phenomenal year for him as a senior. He'll be heading to Delaware next year. So yeah, there's a ton that they should be proud of and that they have to be proud of. So certainly a difficult way for the season to end, but obviously they've set the bar really high over the last couple of years, and they have a lot to look forward to try to get back and keep that standard kind of going forward. Yes. So, but
also had two other sports. We had volleyball and girls soccer played on the Saturday, and both Panther Valley volleyball team and Northwestern girls soccer team suffered season-ending defeats.
Yes, I was at Panther Valley to cover them against North Penn Liberty at Shamokin High School. All three sets were 25-20, 25-20, 25-20, but seems... I think it's a little bit deceiving maybe in some ways. I mean, the Panthers were in that, each and every one, maybe held leads midway or early on, and just North Penn was just they just sort of had an answer each time for Panther Valley. They were able to play really strong defense. Panther Valley has some really great hitters with obviously Jenna, Erica Duboski. It just seemed like, even Olivia Dacey, just kind of no matter what the Panthers were able to throw at them, they were able to kind of come back and, able to get the balls back. Really great serve-receive game. It seemed like they were really sound with that. So, they just played a really sound game, and now we see kind of what happens with the Panthers from here.
Yeah, and that's an undefeated North Penn Liberty team, so no one's had the answer for them this year. And you talked about defense, and at this time of the year, whether you're talking football with Tamaqua throwing a shutout, or soccer or volleyball, defense at this time of year is almost always crucial. I remember Marion volleyball coach Doc Fallible telling me, and they had several runs to deep into the state tournament, but he always said his best teams were his best defensive teams, and they had a lot of strong hitting through the years on those teams, but usually the teams that play the best defense are going to win at this time of year.
Yeah, and it was pretty remarkable, just even kind of sitting watching the match, and the others I was with sort of at that press row, and just kind of it was extremely noticeable, no matter what, Panther Valley kept sort of firing and they just were able to kind of keep getting the ball back, and
combination of great play at the net to block, great play at the back line to dig, so it's tough to win, but like you said, great season for Panther Valley. 4 straight district championships, had a Schuylkill League championship a couple years ago mixed into this run. Just a great 4-year span for the Panthers, and like you said, they still have some talent back next year. They lose Jenna Duboski, they lose Olivia Dacey, but they have Erica Duboski back, and some other really good players around her.
And you think too, where they have younger players that have gained this experience, that have been a part of in some way been a part of this run or other runs, and they've gained that postseason experience, which obviously will be vital going forward next year when they have to kind of fill those holes and rebuild a little bit. So, but another team that has been successful, over the course of the last several years is Northwestern girls soccer, which. Again, we always talk about the boys program, the girls program. Both at Northwestern have been extremely competitive, always in contention for league and district titles over the last
making good runs in the state tournaments. It's kind of become commonplace for both of those teams to be in the state tournament. Girls lost a tough 1-0 game to Lake Lehman on Saturday. It was a Lake Lehman team that was averaging 8 goals a game this season. They've had like 172
Which is remarkable.
goals, in
that's
20 some
incredible.
games. Another undefeated team. We talked about North Penn Liberty being undefeated. Lake Lehman, I think they had a tie earlier in the year, but they were like 21-0-1. So another really good team. Northwestern took them right to the wire. 1-0 game. Northwestern goalie Naomi Glassberg, I think, had 14 saves in the game, helped keep her team in it, but the Tigers just couldn't get in there and get a goal.
Yeah, and like you said earlier about defense and, just kind of thinking about, being able to play strong defensive game, and especially, again, at this point in the postseason. But the Tigers are young, again, they do have several underclassmen, girls that will be coming back for head coach Kelly Bleem. So there's no reason to think that they don't have a chance to be right back in the mix again.
It's
next
almost
season.
expected.
Yeah.
With Northwestern soccer, you expect to be there every year. You don't rebuild, you reload, is the saying, right?
And they just are always able to kind of fill in those pieces and each year get back to, kind of performing at that level. So, so we'll be back next week, obviously, hopefully with some good news on Tamaqua, see how their game shakes out Friday night and see where the Raiders are headed, hopefully going into next weekend. So we're also in the middle of kind of a college signing period. So we have several athletes that have announced their commitments over the last couple of days, and others that we're expecting will also kind of come up in the next week or so as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about those next week as well.
So anything else for you, Emmett?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Thanks. So for Emmett McCall, I'm Patrick Matsinko. Thanks again for tuning in to TN Sports Chat, presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network.